Welcome, my dear learners, for this course on control engineering. In this module 2, we were discussing on block diagram reduction and signal flow graph. So far, we have solved two problems on signal flow graph using Mason's gain formula. Continuing our discussion, the problem number 3 on signal flow graph is for the system shown in figure, determine C of S by R of S using Mason's gain formula. So this is the given problem for us. I took this problem to demonstrate when there exists a loop which is not touching a path. That is, in our problem number 1 and 2, we have seen that the value of delta k is unity for all the paths. But here the value of delta k will not be unity for one of the paths. I want to demonstrate it and to explain you people how to calculate delta k properly. I took this problem. Let us discuss the solution of this one. If I go for the solution, in step 1 I should find the total number of forward paths. So number of forward paths, if I go for, check out how many number of forward paths are there. So from source to sink, or from the starting point to ending point, we have one straight path. So this is path number 1, and if I go like this, I can't go like this because the arrow mark is moving opposite to me. So this is a feedback minus h3, so therefore I can't go like this. If I go here and if I try to go like this, I can't go because this is also a feedback which is minus h4 and the direction is opposite to the forward path. So therefore the only possibility is I should go like this with g4. So totally we have one straight path and one path with g4. So total number of paths n is 2. Hence the value of k is 1, 2. Now in step 2, if I find the path gains, coming for path 1, path 1 is a straight line, so therefore it is a product of branch gains, that is 1 into g1 is g1, g1 into g2 is g1 g2, g2 into g3 is g1 g2 g3. So therefore the path gain of path 1 is g1 g2 g3, g1 g2 g3. Now coming for k is 1 and 2, so therefore if I go for path 2, the path gain will be 1 into g4, that's it. So therefore the path gain is just g4. So this completes step 2. If I move for step 3, loop gain, check how many number of loops are there. So coming for this one, it is a self loop. So from the node we are going to the same node. So it is a self loop. The loop gain is minus h1. We have one more self loop. The loop gain is minus h2. So these two are self loops. It is not involving any other node or any other branch gain. So we have two self loops, and then we have here we have one more loop, that is g3 minus h4. So loop 3 will be minus g3 h4 minus g3 h4. Coming for loop 4, it is g2 g3 minus h3. So we have loop 4 which is minus g2 g3 h3 minus g2 g3 h3. This is one more loop. So we have two self loops. This is one loop, g3 minus h4. This is another loop, g2 g3 minus h3. Any other loops are there? I can't come back. See, observe here, if I go like this and come in this way, I can't reach the initial point. So therefore this cannot be the loop. So that's all. We have 4 loops in this problem, and these are the loop gains. Next, moving for step 4, to find the value of delta, to find the determinant of the graph. That is, we know that delta is equal to 1 minus sum of loop gains of all the loops. So therefore 1 minus sum of loop gains of all the loops, that is L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L4 plus sum of gain products of combination of all two non-touching loops. How many combinations of two non-touching loops are there? The first combination is L1 and L2 are not touching, right? This is L1, this is L2. L1 and L2 are not touching. So first combination is L1 L2 plus second combination is L1 and L3. So L1 is not touching L3. L1 is here, L3 is here. So therefore L1 and L3 are not touching. L1 L3. Next L1 L4 is touching here at this node. Next if I come for L2 L3, they are touching at this node. Coming for L2 L4 also they are touching at this node. Next coming for L3 L4 they are touching at this node. So therefore the only possibility of combination of two non-touching loop is that L1 L2 and L1 L3. Next the formula continues as minus sum of gain products of all the combinations of three non-touching loops. Is there any three non-touching loops existing here? No, right? So this is not touching this and this is not touching L3, but L2 L3 are touching each other. So therefore all the three loops should not touch each other. L1 is not touching L2, L1 is not touching L3, but L2 is touching L3. So therefore it is not a combination of three non-touching loop. So that's it, what we have. If I substitute and solve, I will get the value of delta as delta is equal to 1 minus. So all the loop gains have negatives. I will take negative common. It will become 1 plus H1 plus H2 plus G3H4 plus G2 G3H3 G2 G3H3 plus L1 L2. Minus of minus is plus, hence it is H1 H2 plus minus of minus is plus, hence it is G3 H1 H4 G3 H1 H4. So this is the value of determinant. Now if I go for step 5 to find the value of delta k, so here k varies as 1 and 2. So therefore if I go for delta 1, delta 1 is the value of delta after eliminating the gains of loops which are touching path 1. So this is path 1, L1 is touching path 1, L2 is also touching path 1, loop 3 is also touching path 1, loop 4 is also touching path 1. So since all the loops are touching path 1, if I eliminate the loops which are touching path 1, everything will be eliminated. Therefore it is 1 minus 0, it is 1, because all the loops are touching path 1. Next if I go for delta 2, delta 2 is the value of delta after eliminating the loop gains of the loops which are touching path 2. So if I go for path 2, so this is path 2. So this is path 2. If I observe, loop 1 is not touching path 2. Loop 2 is also not touching path 2. Loop 3 is touching path 2 at this node. Loop 4 is also touching path 2 at this node. So therefore loop 1 and loop 2 are not touching path 2. So therefore L1 and L2 are not touching path 2. Hence I should retain L1 and L2 and eliminate the loops which are touching path 2. So if I do that, I will get 1 minus eliminating the loops which are touching path 2, that is L3 and L4 should be eliminated. So if I eliminate L3 and L4, I left out with 1 minus of L1 plus L2. Here I should eliminate L3 and L4. So if I eliminate L3, I left out with L1 L2 plus L1 L2, which means that only loop L3 and L4 are touching path 2. Eliminate them. So only L3 and L4 are touching path 2, so therefore eliminate L3 and L4, whereas L1 and L2 are not touching path 2. So delta 2 is the value of delta after eliminating the loop gains of the loops which are touching path 2. So only L3 and L4 are touching path 2, so therefore eliminate L3 and L4. If I eliminate L3 and L4, here also if I eliminate L3, I left with L1, L2, here I left with L1 plus L2. So that's what I written here. So therefore, what is the value of delta 2? Hence the value of delta 2 will become delta 2 is equal to 1 minus L1 plus L2. So both L1 and L2 have negative signs. I will take negative common. Minus of minus will become plus. It is 1 plus H1 plus H2 plus L1 into L2. So both L1 and L2 have minus signs. Minus of minus is plus H1 into H2. H1 into H2. So this is the value of delta 2. Hope the concept is clear to find the value of delta k. So for the previous two problems which we have solved, all the loops were touching all the paths. Hence we used to get the value of delta k as unity for all the paths. But here for path 2, L3 and L4 are the only loops which are touching, whereas L1 and L2 are not touching. So therefore we got the value of delta 2 other than unity. So this is the value of delta 2. Now use Mason's gain formula and find the overall transfer function. So moving for the last step, that is in step 6. In step 6, find overall transfer function. Overall transfer function is C of s by R of s, which is given by summation of k varies from 1 to n pk delta k divided by delta. So here k varies as 1 and 2. So therefore this formula boils down to P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 whole divided by delta. Hence the value of transfer function is P1. P1 is G1, G2, G3. G1, G2, G3. Delta 1 is unity. P2 is G4. Delta 2 is this one. So it should be multiplied with this one. 1 plus H1 plus H2 plus H1 H2 whole divided by delta. So delta is this one. Delta is 1 plus H1 plus H2 plus G3 H4 plus G2 G3 H3 plus H1 H2 plus G3 H1 H4. So if I rearrange and write the overall transfer function for this problem, I will get C of s by R of s as G1 G2 G3 G1 G2 G3 plus G4 plus G4 H1 plus G4 H2, continuing here, plus G4 H1 H2, G4 H1 H2 whole is divided by delta. Delta is 1 plus G2 G3 H3 G2 G3 H3 G3 H4 plus G3 H4 plus G3 H1 H4 plus G3 H1 H4. So continuing here, plus H1 plus H2 plus H1 plus H2 plus H1 into H2. So this is the transfer function for the given problem number 3. That's all from this lecture. Thank you all.